Now the problem is, calculate the decrease in exergy when 25 kilogram of water at 95 degrees centigrade mixed with 35 kilogram of water at 35 degrees centigrade. The pressure being taken as constant and the temperature of the surrounding being 15 degrees centigrade. Cp of water is 4.2 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Yes. Now here the water, two stream of water has been mixed. So now let us assume this is the condition of before mixing, and here it is the condition after mixing. Okay, before mixing we have two stream. The one is 25 kilogram of water at 95 degrees centigrade. So M1 is 25 kilogram at temperature of 95 degrees centigrade, that is 273 plus 95. Okay, and the second one is M2. The second stream is at 35 kilogram water at 35 degrees centigrade. 35 kilogram of water at temperature of 35 degree centigrade. And obviously the environment is at T0 and this temperature of the ambient is 15 degrees centigrade. The ambient temperature is given as 15 degrees centigrade. Okay, now these two stream of the water has been mixed. So what is the total mass after mixing? The total mass after mixing will be M1 plus M2, that comes out to be 35 plus 540 plus 20, that is 60 kg. 60 kilogram will be the total mass after mixing, and let after mixing the temperature will be, the pressure remains constant. It is given in the question that the pressure remains constant. So we have to find out what is the calculate the decrease in exergy when 25 kilogram of water is mixed. So now we have to calculate how much exergy has been decreased that by mixing of these two fluids. Okay, so let us assume that initially this is our system. It has mass M at a temperature of T. Obviously this is the environment temperature, and since T is greater than to environment temperature, that T is greater than T0, then definitely Q will be released. Okay, so once the Q will be released, then there is a loss in availability. Okay, so Q will be nothing but this Q can be calculated, or at any instant of time let it be delta Q. So delta Q is the amount of heat that has been delivered by the system at any instant of time, and this is nothing but it is minus mCp dt, where dt is the temperature difference, means the temperature of the system at any instant of time is T, and T0 is the temperature of the environment, and the system is in thermodynamic equilibrium with the environment. So this is the total amount of the heat that has been delivered. So available energy, so what would be the available energy? That available energy is nothing but it is 1 minus T0 divided by T into delta Q. That comes out to be 1 minus T0 by T, and delta Q is minus mCp dt, and this is from temperature T to T0, means T initial to T0, means it comes in a thermodynamic equilibrium with the environment. Or we can say that this available energy is nothing but it is mCp integration 1 minus T0 upon T dt, and this minus sign will be changed with the limit of this by using the definite integration, that is T0 to Ti, that is the initial temperature, and this is the environment temperature. So what is the exergy of 25 kilogram of water and at working at 95 degrees centigrade? So exergy or available energy of water at 95 degrees centigrade with respect to 15 degrees centigrade. This is your ambient temperature, and this will be given as, let us assume it is your A1. So this A1 is nothing but it is mCp integration from 273 plus 15 to 273 plus 95 1 minus T naught divided by T dt. So this comes out to be m. What is the mass? Mass of the water is 25 kg. So this is 25. Cp is 4.18. 95 minus 15, that is 80, minus T naught is 288 ln, this divided by this, (368) divided by 288. So total available energy of this stream of water which is working at 95 degrees centigrade, this comes out to be, I am giving you the value that we have calculated, that value comes out to be 987.5. This is 987.5 kilojoule. You just check the calculated part, you just find out the calculated value. This is the exergy of water at 95 degrees centigrade. Similarly, exergy of water at 35 degrees centigrade with respect to environment, that is 15 degrees centigrade, is A2. Then what is this A2? Obviously this is nothing but, what is its mass? Its mass is 35 kg. So mCp, again using the same formula, m is 35 into 4.18, so 35 minus 15, that is 20, minus 288 ln 273 plus 35 divided by 273 plus 15. So A2 comes out to be, what is the value A2? So this A2 comes out to be at 35 degrees centigrade, if you calculate, this value comes out to be 97.6 kilojoule. So what is the total exergy available before the mixing? So total available energy before mixing A dash, that comes out to be A1 plus A2, and if you calculate, so this value is around 1085.1 kilojoule. So this is the total amount of exergy available before the mixing of water. Now the two stream of the water has been mixed together. So when two stream of water are mixed together, then what will happen? When the two stream of the water will be mixed together, then obviously, since there is no heat transfer will take place and no working is there, so the internal energy of the system will remains constant by the first law of thermodynamics principle. Okay, so change in internal energy and delta U becomes equal to 0, because Q and W, that is the heat and work transfer, is 0. So U final is equal to U initial, and let the final temperature is T. So mC T, this is nothing but it is M1 C T1 plus M2 C T2. So T comes out to be, that is the final temperature after mixing, is M1 T1 plus M2 T2 divided by M1 plus M2, that is total mass M1 plus M2 or M. So once you calculate, you put the values as, so we will get the answer of final temperature of the water stream after mixing, that comes out to be 60 degrees centigrade. When you put out these values as, that is M1, M2 and T1, T2 values as will be putting, then the T comes out to be 60 degrees centigrade. This is the final temperature of the water after mixing. So now this final temperature of the water having mass is 60 kg. Now it comes in thermal equilibrium with the environment at 15 degrees centigrade. So exergy of water after mixing will be given by let it be A, that is nothing but it is M Cp 4.18 into 60 minus 15, that is 15 degrees centigrade, minus 288, that is T naught ln 273 plus 60 divided by 273 plus 15. Once you put, you will get this value as, the value of this A comes out to be 803.27, 803.3 kilojoule. This is the amount of exergy after mixing. So before mixing, what is the available energy? It was this much, and after mixing the total available energy of the water stream is this much. So there is a decrease in available energy. So decrease in available energy. So decrease in available energy due to mixing of water will be given by delta A. This comes out to be A dash minus A, that is 1085.1 minus 803.3. So this comes out to be, once you calculate this value, so this value comes out to be 281.8 kilojoule. So this is the total amount of available energy which has been decreased because of the mixing of fluid. And why this available energy has been decreased? Because mixing of the two stream of the water is your spontaneous reaction and irreversibility will occur, and because of the irreversibility, this is the total amount of available energy has been decreased. So whenever there is a decrease in the availability, it is just only because of the irreversibility, because available energy is nothing but it is the work potential, and whenever the work potential will be decreased, means lesser work will be available to do, and if the lesser work has been available to do, then the work has been dissipated, and this much how much amount of the work has been dissipated, that can be calculated with the help of the internal irreversibilities within the system. So due to the mixing of this fluid or the stream of the water, mixing of the two stream of the water, obviously it is a natural process, and because of this natural process, irreversibility will occur, and because of this irreversibility, the available energy has been reduced, or work potential of this system has been reduced. Okay, now come to the next problem. The question is, the moment of inertia of a flywheel is 0.54 kilogram per meter square, and it rotates at a speed of 3000 rpm in a large heat insulated system, the temperature of which is 15 degrees centigrade. If the kinetic energy of the flywheel is dissipated as fractional heat at the shaft bearings, which have a water equivalent of 2 kg, find the rise in temperature of the bearings when the flywheel has come to rest. Okay. So moment of inertia of the flywheel has been given and it rotates at 3000 rpm in a large heat insulated system. So now just to do this problem, fourth problem, there is a flywheel and this flywheel is basically nothing but it is rotating. It has given that the flywheel is rotating in any insulated system. Suppose this is your insulated system. Okay, this is our system and it is your insulated system is there, and this flywheel is rotating. The moment of inertia of the flywheel has been given as 0.54 kilogram meter square, 0.54 kilogram meter square. This is the moment of inertia of the flywheel, and it rotates at a speed of 3000 rpm. N is 3000 rpm. In a large heat insulated system, the temperature of which is 15 degrees centigrade, and it is in an insulated system and the temperature of the system is 15 degree centigrade. It is given. So now let us assume that the environmental temperature of this system is 15 degrees centigrade. This 15 degrees centigrade is nothing but it is 273 plus 15, that is 288 Kelvin. If the kinetic energy of the flywheel is dissipated as fractional heat at the shaft bearing, which has the water equivalent to 2 kilogram, then find the rise in the temperature of the bearing when the flywheel has come to rest. Okay. Now, when the flywheel is rotating, so what is the total rotational kinetic energy of this flywheel? So, rotational kinetic energy of flywheel before coming to rest will be given by Ke, that I am assuming that it is kinetic energy Ke, that comes out to be half I omega square. And how to calculate the value of omega? Omega is nothing but it is the angular speed. So how to calculate the value of omega? So this is nothing but it is half I, omega is 2 pi n by 60 whole square. Once you put all these values as, so you will get the answer as 26.6 kilojoule. 26.6 kilojoule. Okay, yes, it comes out to be 26.6 kilojoule. This is the total kinetic energy of the flywheel before coming to rest. Okay, now this flywheel, now when the flywheel is rotating, then obviously this kinetic energy will dissipate, will do some work, this will do work, and because of this work, the work has been transferred to heat, and that heat will nothing but it will increase the temperature of the water. Okay, so this energy will be utilized as a heat. So let rise in temperature of water, temperature of water, 2 kg water, be T, then heat is equal to kinetic energy, that is mCp T minus 50 that should be equal to 26.6 kilojoule. M is 2, Cp is 4.18 into T minus 15 is equal to 26.6. So you will get the final temperature of water. So what is the final temperature of water? Is 18.19. That comes to be 18.2 degree centigrade. This is the final temperature of water. So rise in temperature. What is the rise in temperature? Rise in temperature is 18.2 minus 15, that is 3.2 degree centigrade. So 3.2 degree centigrade of the temperature of the water has been raised just because of the rotation of this flywheel. Why? Because once it will rotate, then it will generate the kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy will be utilized as a heat, and because of this heat the temperature of the water has been increased, and which increases its temperature to 18.2 degree centigrade from 15 degree centigrade. So this portion, the first part, that find the rise in the temperature of the bearings when the flywheel has come to the rest. So the temperature of the bearing has been raised to 18.8 degree. Sorry, it is the final temperature. So rise in temperature is equal to 3.2 degrees centigrade. Okay, calculate the greatest possible amount of this heat which may be returned to the flywheel as a high grade energy, means available energy. Because what is the high grade energy? High grade energy is your available energy, showing how much of the original kinetic energy is now unavailable. What would be the final RPM of this flywheel if it is set in the motion with this available energy? Now to calculate the greatest possible amount of heat which may be returned to the flywheel as a high grade of energy. So you can now understand that what is the high grade of energy. High grade energy is nothing but your work or the kinetic energy. Okay, so that we have to find out what is the amount of that high grade of energy that will be received, which are returned to the flywheel. So what you have to do? You have to calculate the available energy. And now the temperature of the water has been raised to 18.2 degrees centigrade and the environment is 15 degrees centigrade. Since temperature has increased to 18.2 degrees centigrade and ambient temperature is 15 degrees centigrade. Okay, now since the temperature of the water has been increased to 18.2 degrees centigrade, and when it comes with environmental thermodynamic equilibrium with the environment, which is at 15 degrees centigrade, then what will happen? Obviously it has some available energy. So available energy of water, which will be returned back to flywheel, and that will be given as, let us assume it is A. So this available energy that can be given as is mCp is 4.18, using the same formula, that is 18.2 minus 15 minus 288 ln 273 plus 18.2 divided by 273 plus 15, using the same formula. So we will get the amount, and this value is nothing but it is 0.15 kilojoule. 0.15 kilojoule. I can think that it is understood to you people that how because this now the temperature of the water has been raised, and once any system is at a higher temperature with respect to the environment temperature, then obviously it has the potential to do some work that we have calculated and as an available energy of the water. And since this available, because the water will dissipate heat, and once it dissipates the heat, then obviously it has some available energy or work potential. So that work potential we have calculated, and since this work potential definitely this work potential will be returned back to the flywheel as an available energy, so as a high grade of energy. So how much of the high grade of energy will be returned back to the flywheel? So high grade of energy which is will be returned back to the flywheel will be 0.15 kilojoule. Okay, so how much of the original kinetic energy is now unavailable? So total energy unavailable, so energy unavailable is equal to, what is the total initial kinetic energy? The initial kinetic energy we have calculated is 26.6. So it is 26.6 minus 0.15. So this comes out to be, the value comes out to be 26.45. So this is the total unavailable energy. Okay, now the next part, he says what would be the final RPM of the flywheel if it is set in motion with this available energy. Now with the help of this available energy, now this available energy will be just like as ever. Now it will rotate the flywheel. So let the final rotational speed or final velocity of flywheel be omega radian per second, then half I omega square is nothing but it is equal to 0.15 into 10 raised to the power 3. So half I is, what is the 0.54, moment of inertia is 0.54, omega square, that value is 0.15 into 10 raised to the power 3. So once you calculate, so omega is equal to under root 2 into 0.15 into 10 raised to the power 3 divided by I is 0.54. This much or radian per second. So speed in RPM will be given as, let it be n dash. This speed is equal to, how to calculate? Omega is equal to 2 pi n upon 60. So this is 60 omega divided by 2 pi. This much of RPM. Once you put the value, that is 30 upon pi into omega value is 2 into 0.15 into 10 raised to the power 3 divided by 0.54. Once you calculate all these values, so you will get what is the total final RPM, and this comes out to be 222 RPM. Now just do the calculative part. So this is the total final RPM of the flywheel when this heat will be utilized as a available energy for bearing and for water for this flywheel. Okay, so this was a very good question, in which the first the flywheel increases the temperature of water, and after that this water temperature, when it comes in thermodynamic equilibrium with the environment, uses to again turn the or to move the flywheel. Okay. Now the next question is, an air preheater is used to cool the products of combustion from a furnace while heating the air to be used for combustion. The rate of flow of the product is 12.5 kilogram per second. Now let us first draw the diagram. Question number 5. Suppose it is your furnace. Okay, the product which is coming through the furnace is used in a heater. This is in exhaust, and here the air preheater is basically used. And this goes to the furnace. Here it is fuel, and here it is air. This is air preheater. Now the combustion from a furnace while the heating air to be used for combustion. The rate of flow of product is 12.5 kilogram per second, and products are cooled from 300 to 200 degrees centigrade. Here it is 300 degrees centigrade, and here it is 200 degrees centigrade. Let us assume that is the TG1 initial temperature of gas, and it is the initial temperature of gas final. This is initial temperature of air, and here it is the final temperature of air after heating. The air is flowing in this way. The mass of gas is flowing is given as rate of flow of the mass of gas is 12.5 kilogram per second, 12.5 kg per second, and the products at this temperature is Cp. Cp for the product is given. The rate of air flow is 11.5 kilogram per second. Mass flow rate of air is 11.5 kilogram per second, and its initial temperature is 40 degrees centigrade. So this temperature is given as 40 degrees centigrade. Cp for air is 1.005. Cp for air is 1.005 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin, while Cp for gas, or it is Cp for gas, this is 1.09 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. This is given. Estimate the initial and final exergy of the products. So first we have to find out what is the initial and final exergy of the product. Second part is what is the irreversibility for this process. Okay. Now third, if the heat transfer from the products occurred reversibly through the heat engines, then what is the final temperature of the air? What is the power developed by the heat engine? Take T0 is equal to 300 Kelvin and neglect the pressure drop for both the fluids and heat transfer to the surrounding. T0 is equal to, that is the ambient temperature, T0 is given as 300. This is our fuel or product. This is our product, and here it is air. So now we have to calculate the exergy of the product as well as initial and final exergy of the product. So initial exergy of the product psi1, that can be given as H1 minus H0 minus T0 into S1 minus S0, and I am calculating it on a per unit mass basis, and if you multiply it with the mass of the gas, so this is the total entropy generation. Okay. This we know that the entropy for an open system, sorry, the exergy for an open system will be given with the help of this relation. Okay, now what is the value of H? S is nothing but it is Cp T naught. So this can be written as Cp gas of T1 minus T naught Tg1 gas minus T naught is the environment temperature minus T naught into S1 minus S naught mg dot. Now by putting these values is, so we have calculated it, since we have calculated it roughly, so what is its value? So this becomes mg dot, that is Cpg Tg1 minus T naught minus T naught. Since pressure and all other quantities are same, that this will be equal to Cpln Tg1 by T naught. Okay, so by putting the value psi 1 comes out to be, once we put all these values as, then psi 1 will be equal to, now on a per unit mass basis we have calculated. So now put the value Cp gas is 1.09, $573, Tg1 is 573 minus 300 into ln 573 on 300. So once you calculate it, so this value comes out to be 85.97 kilojoule per kilogram. 85.97 kilojoule per kilogram. This is the initial exergy of the product. Now final exergy of the product. Now how to calculate the final exergy of the product? Obviously with the same formula, this is S2 minus H0 minus T0 of S2 minus S0 on a per unit mass basis. So this is Cp gas into T2 minus T0. This T2 is nothing but it is Tg2 minus T0 Cp ln, Cp that we have taken common, ln Tg2 by T0. Okay, so by putting all values as 1.09, what is the final temperature? Final temperature is 200, so that comes out to be 473. So that is 473 minus 300 ln 473 upon 300. So this value comes out to be 39.68 kilojoule per kilogram. So what is the decrease in it? Now the question what he is asking, estimate the initial and final exergy of the product. So initial and final exergy of the product per unit mass basis we have calculated. So what is the irreversibility for this process? So whatever be the decrease in availability, that is the irreversibility. So decrease in availability will be due to irreversibility. Therefore, irreversibility is nothing but this is equal to mg dot psi 1 minus psi 2, that is the change in availability or change in available energy. So what is this value calculated? Once we calculate mg dot is 12.5 kilogram per second. It's 12.5 multiplied by psi 1 minus psi 2. If you decrease, then this comes to be 46.28 kilojoule per kilogram, and this is the kilogram per second. So now just to calculate this much amount of kilowatt, this is the irreversibility due to cooling of this product with the help of the air in the air preheater. Okay. Now the next part, if the heat transfer from the product occurs reversibly, what we have to calculate. Now this is the final exergy, initial exergy of the product, and this is the final exergy of the product. Then what is the change in exergy of the product? The change in exergy of the product will be given by psi 1 minus psi 2, and let us assume that we say this is equal to A gas, that is the exergy of the product, gas product. So this becomes, what is psi 1 and psi 2? Once you put it, this is psi 1 minus psi 2, and this comes out to be 46.8 kilojoule per kilogram. This is the total exergy of the product. Now, so what is the, this is the total exergy, and if we multiply it with the mass flow rate of the product, then we will get the total available energy of the product before and after the when it has been cooled from initial temperature to the final temperature, then this much amount of the total energy is available with the product. Now at the same time the air has been heat up, at the same time when gas are cooled, then air will be heated and in preheater, which is insulated so applying the energy balance equation in preheater, we have, okay. Now when we apply the energy balance equation for the air preheater, then what will happen? The total amount of the energy lost by the product will be equal to the amount of energy received by the air. So mg dot cpg tg1 minus tg2, this must be equal to ma dot CPA TA2 minus TA1. Okay, now putting the values as mg dot is 12.5 into 1.09 into what are the gas temperature of the airs, that is 300 to 200 Kelvin, sorry, degree centigrade. So 300 minus 200, this comes to be 100, is equal to, what is the mass flow rate of air? The mass flow rate of air is given 11.5, so it is 11.5 into 1.005 TA2 minus, that is 40 degree centigrade. Suppose it is 40 degree centigrade. So by solving this, we will get the final temperature of air, and the final temperature of the air comes out to be, the final temperature of air, that comes to be 430.89 Kelvin. This is 40 degree centigrade, to convert it into degree centigrade Kelvin, and then you will get, this is 40, or here you will get the TA2 in degree centigrade, doesn't matter, and I have converted this into the Kelvin, so this becomes 433.89 Kelvin. So it is the final temperature of the air. So there is an increase in availability of the air because air is taking the heat. Once the air is taking the heat, so its available energy will be increased. Okay, so increase in available energy of the air we have to calculate. So how to calculate the increase in available energy of air? So increase in exergy of air. Why air exergy has been increased? Because heat is gained by the air. Why? For the product or for the gas which is coming from the combustion, it's since its temperature is decreasing, it is cooling, so its exergy will be decreased. So increase in the exergy of the air. What is the increase in the exergy of air? So we are taking it as psi A1 minus psi A2. Okay, so let it be A exergy of air. So what is its value? Cp air TA2 minus TA1 minus T naught into ln of TA2 divided by TA1. We are just using direct formula. Okay, otherwise we can calculate from it has been under the equilibrium with the environment, so say psi A1 minus psi A naught, and then psi A naught minus psi A naught, psi A2 minus psi A naught, so A naught will be cancelled, so this will be our answer. So this value, once you put, that is 1.005 into TA2 minus TA1. What is TA2? The value of TA2 what is the value of TA2? TA2 we have calculated, and once you put all these values, so you will get this value as by putting the value we will get this answer as 22.11 kilojoule per kilogram. Okay, so what is irreversibility? So irreversibility is nothing but that is the total loss in available energy. This is equal to loss in available energy. So I is nothing but it is mg dot ag minus ma dot aa. These are the available energies. So now you put the values as, we know the mg dot, we know the ma dot, ag and a. Once you put all these values as, we will get the value that is 12.5, 46.3 minus 11.5 into 22.11. So this will get 324 approximately kilowatt. This much is the irreversibility generated. Okay, so this was again a very good question. Okay, how much is the irreversibility will be generated? So a total irreversibility generated will be 324 kilowatt. Now in the next part, what he is asking, in the next part he is asking if the heat transfer from the product occurs reversibly through the heat engines. Heat transfer from the product occurs reversibly through the heat engines, then what is the final temperature of the air? So if the heat transfer, C part, let's check C part, given if heat transfer from the product occurs reversibly, so when heat transfer from product is reversible, then delta S universe means change in entropy will be equal to 0. Okay, when the heat transfer from the product will be reversible, and obviously since heat is coming from the product to the air, and once the temperature of the product is decreasing and air will be increasing, so there is the change in entropy of the product as well as of the air. So what is the total, whatever be the entropy changing? So total entropy change of the universe we have to calculate, and total universe entropy will be 0 because it is the reversible. But we know that this reverse universe is nothing but it is delta S system plus delta S surrounding. This will be equal to 0, but delta S surrounding will be equal to 0. Why is it equal to 0? Because it is insulated. Means change in entropy of the system is 0, and the system is consisting of what? System is consisting of gas as well as for the air. So entropy delta S gas plus delta S air, that has to be 0, or we can say that delta S air is equal to minus delta S gas, that is change in entropy of air will be equal to the change in entropy of gas with a minus sign. Why both are equal but opposite in direction? Because since the gas is cooling from 300 Kelvin to 500 Kelvin to 400 Kelvin, so its temperature will be decreasing, that's why its entropy will decrease, but the air will be heated up. So once the air will be heated up, its entropy will increase. Okay, so this is Ma dot Cpa ln Ta2 by Ta1, that should be equal to mg dot Cpg ln. Now from Tg2 to Tg1, if you calculate it, so I am taking its Tg1 to Tg2, then this negative and negative will give you the positive value. So solving, we get the final temperature of air for the reversible heating from the air preheater. So this temperature as will be equal to, what is the value of this temperature? This temperature is coming out to be 392.4 Kelvin. This temperature comes out to be 392.4 Kelvin. So this is the temperature of air. So what is the next portion? So what is the final temperature of the air? The final temperature of the air for a reversible occurring heat through the air preheater. So this is your final temperature. What is the power developed by the heat engine? Now, since this is the final temperature of air, and we have to calculate the power developed, and a heat engine is operating between, since it is a gas is transferring and here air is transferring. In between this, a heat engine has been used. So obviously this heat engine will develop the work. So suppose this is Q1 and this is Q2. So we have to calculate the total amount of heat transfer through the gas and total amount of the heat rejected through the air. That will be equal to your this much. So what is the total amount of heat transfer and total amount of the heat received? Okay, so we have to calculate this Q1 and Q2. So total amount of heat transfer from the gas or product, Q1 is equal to mg dot Cpg Tg1 minus Tg2. Now put the value, so we will get this Q1 dot, that comes to be 1362.5 kilowatt. Just put the value, so you will get this much. And heat rejected at air will be given by Q2 dot, and this is nothing but it is Ma dot Cpa Ta2 minus Ta1. Once you put all these values as, so we will get this T2 as 917.8 kilowatt. So what is the total power developed by the heat engine? Therefore power developed by heat engine, that is W, is nothing but it is Q1 dot minus Q2 dot, and this value is 444.7 kilowatt. So this much amount of the power will be developed when a heat engine, what is the power developed by the heat engine? So this much amount of the power will be developed when a heat engine is working in between the gas pipeline and air pipeline. Okay, so this is a good question in which the concept of irreversibility as well as the open air system exercise has been